Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego here in northern Florida, in the Panhandle, north of Navarre Beach and close to Pensacola and Mobile, Alabama, with my lovely prometida, the lovely Karina, who is in Bogota, Colombia, and we are both waiting for our K-1 visa adjudication at the Service Center in California, just like many of you guys out there are also waiting for your K-1 visa. Now, this video, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is the income requirements or the minimum income requirements for K-1 visas for 2023. Okay? 2023 federal minimum income requirements for a K-1 visa. Now, listen up and I'll explain it to you. In order to apply for a K-1 visa, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there are federal guidelines in place based on a household size to ensure that you are able to take care of your beneficiary, Mr. Sponsor or Miss Sponsor. Okay? The household includes the primary earner, the income earner, and all their dependents. Basically, what you're doing is you're calculating how many people are in your house, including your beneficiary and any of her children or his children. When they come to be with you and you get married, you got to be able to feed them and clothe them, and without becoming a public charge. In other words, you, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, are responsible for your beneficiaries, not the taxpayers of the United States. So these are the basic income requirements for 2023, the minimum requirements. A definition of a household is two people at a minimum in your house. So a household is defined by the federal government as a minimum of two people, and the state of residence where you live. Okay, most people live in the contiguous United States, but if you live in Alaska or Hawaii, the minimum income requirements are a lot higher. So I will first go over with you guys what are the minimum income requirements for a family of two in the United States of America, excluding Hawaii and excluding Alaska. Okay. To get a K-1 visa, you got to meet a minimum 100% of the federal poverty guidelines. 100%, okay, for 2023 for a family of two is $19,720. So if you are a family of two, which is the sponsor and the beneficiary, that will be the minimum income that you have to make to apply for a K-1 visa. Okay? Now, when you get to the United States and you adjust the status, then you have to reach 125% of the minimum income. And 125% of a family of two is $24,650. Mr. Sponsor, if you are sponsoring, Miss Sponsor, if you are sponsoring a beneficiary and you're going to become a family household of three, okay, 100% of the minimum income requirements that you need to have is $24,860, which is 100% of the federal poverty guidelines. When you get to the United States, when you guys get married, then you have to reach 125% for a family of three, which is $31,075. Okay? That's for a family of three. A family of four, so that would be you, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, your wife or new husband, and two children or two other family members. A family of four, 100% of the minimum income requirements required by USCIS is $30,000 at 100%. 100% of the federal minimum income requirements is $30,000. If you are then married and you're adjusting for your green card, your adjustment of status for your green card, you have to be at 125% once you get to the United States. And for a family of four, that is $37,500. Okay? A family of five, 100% of the minimum income requirements is $35,140. And then you adjust the status, you come to the United States, you get married, and a family of 5 becomes $43,925. If you are a big family, if you are a household of 6 people, which is you, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, your beneficiary, and 4 other people, 4 children, perhaps, 100% of the minimum income requirements is $40,280. Then when you get married, become an American, become to the United States, you get married, and then you have to be at 125%, which is $50,350. Now, if you are a resident of Hawaii or Alaska, ladies and gentlemen, the income requirements are a lot higher, minimum, okay? If you are a resident of Hawaii, Mr. Sponsor, bringing your family to the United States, a family of 2 has to reach $22,680 for 100% and $28,350 for 125% for a family of 2. For a family of 3, 100% in Hawaii is $28,590, and for 125% of the minimum income requirements, $35,738. That's if you're in Hawaii for a family of 2. If you live in Alaska, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a family of 2 has to have a minimum income of $24,640, and 125% for adjustment of status reasons will be $30,800. A family of 3 will be $31,070. A family of 3 at 125% of the minimum income is $38,838. And I'll close out with a family of 4. A family of 4 living in Alaska needs a minimum 100% income of $37,500, and at 125% you need to be at $46,875. Now, immigration, look at the gross income, how much you made total on your W-2s, on your tax return, on your tax transcripts. Remember, include tax returns and tax transcripts. When you go to your visa embassy interview, bring both, plus your W-2s and your 1099s, because consular officers are asking for tax returns, they're asking for tax transcripts. Bring both so you don't get into the problem where some folks get into, where they don't bring the tax transcripts, they got the tax returns, and they got to go and scramble for the tax transcripts. Now, Miss Gia, thank you for this idea to make this video, and we hope this video was helpful to you guys. Remember, gross income, ladies and gentlemen, not net income, and you will get your visa if you qualify for the benefit. If you don't quite meet the income requirements, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you meet the 100% and you don't meet the 125%, when you get to the United States, you can use your assets to make up the difference. If you're already married, you only have to find 3 times the difference, and if you are in a K-1 visa process, you get married, then it's 5 times the difference, okay? So if you're $1,000 short, then multiply that by 5, and that's what the assets you're going to need to make up the difference, okay? If you live in Hawaii or Alaska, it's going to be a little higher. Apparently, living in paradise costs more, even though Alaska is a very low tax state. I don't see why it's such a high place to live. Their taxes are so low there. Thank you for watching the videos. This YouTube channel is for you guys to help you through this process. If you got questions, ask me the questions, and Karina and I send you our best wishes. And also, if you don't quite meet the income requirements for the K-1 visa at 125%, you can get a joint sponsor right off the bat when you apply for your visa. Get a joint sponsor, and that will cover you at the embassy interview and at the embassy processing. Okay? You can use assets only when you get to the United States, and you've already met the 100% minimum income requirements. Very important to meet the 100% for K-1 visas. Okay? Minimum income. If you're a little short, get you a joint sponsor, or use assets when you get to adjust your status. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hang in there. We hope you're doing fine. you will get your K1 visa very soon, and we will see you in the United States of America, where you can live a happy life with your new husband or your new wife.
I'll be back.